How many of you are here? Those who were born year between 1942, 1960. 40 to 60. Okay, only few of them were there. And you know how people today call those people who were born between those years baby boomers. Yes, baby boomers. And those who were born from 60 to 80, how they are called? Yeah, many are there. You know, Gen X. Yeah, Generation X. And those who are born from 80 to 20, millennials, and I belong to that, millennials, or Y. Gen Y, yes, millennials or Gen Y. Those we are born from 2000 to 20, 2000 to 20. Yeah, Gen Z. And is there anyone here? No, is there anyone here from those period of time? Adakalama? So after that, yeah, 22, you know, like let us say the alpha is there. Then actually it is like 20 to 10, sorry, 2000 to 10 and 10 to 20 is alpha, we call. And now those who are born now in this particular period of time, 25 are called beta, you know, beta. Yeah. So most of us who were born were actually not of this age. In the sense, we are not after like the digitalization happened. So we are mostly immigrants to this age. And we are trying to communicate to the digital natives, those who have a different experience, those who have different context, language is different, everything's entirely of different setup. But communication is all about connecting these two generations, the immigrants and the digital natives. It is not an easy task. Having said that, so let us plunge into the session now. Please, can you change the slide? Or give me that, you know, yeah, presenter. Okay. Okay. So what you see on the, you know, screen, a road to Jericho. In the Bible, we have seen 3 important events happened, something to do with the road to Jericho. The first thing is that blind man, you know, yelling at Jesus, calling him, crying out to him, and asking for help. And the second one is Zacchaeus, you know, wanted to see Jesus. And the third, very important, and which has some, you know, contextual application, is that Good Samaritan. We are going to have some understanding of that. You know, this road to Jericho is a little dangerous in nature. And a person is walking on, and let us say it is a digital highway today, in this today's context, a digital highway. A person is walking, but then he is robbed thoroughly, he is beaten, and he is abandoned there at the roadside. It's all happening today in the digital platform, maybe in the name of cyber crimes or any other trolls or threats, something to do with that. Many are there, some of us are there in the digital highway, robbed, beaten, stripped naked. Maybe our own people, those who are studying in our schools, in our parishes, are there in the digital highway, beaten and robbed, put aside, isolated. And nobody is there to care them. And there are Levi, you know, coming. What did he do? Just went aside. Didn't mind to, you know, empathetically attend to the person. And there was another one person who was the priest. He didn't mind at all. So we are also there at the digital platform today, the digital highway, according to Pope Francis. We never ever mind people. We just pass by. We don't empathetically get into the problems because we are so comfortable in what we do. But today, the need of the hour, the occasion has to be questioned. They have to be shaken up and asked, what is your purpose of your occasion? Is it the same process of what we have been doing for years, or today we have to shift the space of our, incarnation? The context has to be shifted, or just has to be, maintained as it is. The other one person is coming, he is a good Samaritan. He doesn't want to go aside. He sees with a lot of compassion. He attends that person, and he also takes him to the inn. And there is also another one, innkeeper, who is closely associating with him. He is not doing alone. There comes synodal process. He is bringing people together for a particular purpose, for a mission, the greater one. And then the person is getting healed. Today, this is a call of the God to attend on digital highway. Let me ask you a question today. Who are we on this digital highway? Are the Levi, the high priest, the Samaritan, or one who is robbed and beaten? Who are we? Or the innkeeper? Who are we? We differ according to the situation. That is a good thing. But sometimes we are not even walking on the digital highway, unfortunately. We are not there in the sports. We are not in the game. We are not there at all. We are somewhere where there is light. But people are there somewhere, some other places scattered. But we are not attending because we think it is not our mission. So there's a vacuum, there's a huge place, a space, an unexplored promised land. Pope Francis says, social media is not just a tool, it's a space. It's a place where to evangelize, a place where to explore, educate, a place where to talk about God, Jesus, good things. So are we there in that space? Are we there in that promised land? That's the biggest question posed in front of us. Next, please. Okay. Today there are so many crimes already we have seen in the other classes, previous classes. Some of the crimes we see. Next, please. So, Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center, 14C, is a division of Ministry of Home Affairs. The last 9 months of 2024, it is said that there are more than 11,000 cyber crimes being booked. The persons are booked and put behind the prison. Next one. And it is said that in the 9 months in the year 2024, the beginning of the first 9 months of 2024, you see, there are 12 lakh cases registered. 12 lakh cases registered in the cyber crime portal. Cyber crime portal. Yes, next please. Okay. Few of the ethical consideration we see before getting into the document of Pope Francis. The first one is, black box. Something to do with AI. It is like internal working of artificial intelligence, the model that we have, large scale model, large language model. So we do not know actually what is happening in the functionality of AI. There are so many neural networks happening. There are so many interactions happening. So many machine learning happening, but we do not know something about that. So that area is what we call black box. So the explainability is very much needed today. How this process is happening, it's an ethical consideration. It's a very big issue actually. Because we do not know what is happening, how these things are derived to us, given to us, from where it is coming, which is the source. Nothing we know. We are just in the black box, like blindfolded. We do not know anything about that. So it is actually a transparency, concern of transparency and accountability, and it has to be explained. It's a dot, it's a black spot. Next please. Autonomy. When Pope Francis was addressing in the last year AI Summit Italy, and he was talking about autonomous weapon. You know, that's a possibility of autonomous weapon today. We do not know who killed whom. In Tamil Nadu, from where I come, some political leaders, they, you know, give some comment on a particular issue. But when you go close, which may be controversial sometimes, but when you go and ask, what would they say, you know? It is not I, but admin did. Nobody owns it. Nobody takes legal authorship, ownership. Nobody takes. Who did it? It's a admin who did. So conveniently, they escape from the crime. The same thing can happen when we employ too much of AI tools for, you know, autonomously doing surveillance, or like, you know, to kill somebody in the borderline or whatever may come across. So that is one thing. Go earlier, please. Previous one. Yeah. In India, there is one concept already. In the Indian government has had some contract with Microsoft for few billions of money. The next slide. Yeah. So Indrajal autonomous drone security. Maybe like last month or month earlier, there was an article from the Hindu newspaper. It was said that Indrajal autonomous drone security, a plan has been proposed by the central government with the association of Microsoft for $3 billion, and it is in the process. So everything is going to become autonomous because of this AI development and advancement, and because of which losses of human control over life and death decision may happen, which nobody will own it. So that is a danger and ethical issue. Next one. AI hallucination. Today we have a mindset to believe whatever is given by AI. Example, Meta AI we have, Perplexity, ChatGPT. You know, Elon Musk is coming with one new AI. Do you know about that? Grok, Grok 3. It is a new AI. It's from the XAI company of Elon Musk. He is proposing an AI which is more smarter, it seems. More smarter and more powerful. And he says it has been, it has been trained. The computers have been trained by 1 lakh GPU hours. 1 lakh GPU hours. Earlier, when ChatGPT was developed, it was said that they invested almost, few billions of money. But today, DeepSeek has come from China, but they have just invested millions of money, just millions, within which they are able to, make the machines learn the different parameters, different, data sets. And the training happens because of the high-end GPUs, NVIDIA. You might have heard about NVIDIA. And it is said even within 1 lakh GPU hours, a unique chatbot or a unique GPT can be designed, it seems. So it is very cheaper nowadays, and even within few GPU hours it can be generated. Yeah. So that is one important thing, is AI hallucination. We always tend to believe that whatever is said in the AI platforms are true, but it is not so. When you ask for somebody, a person, let us say Sunil, but it will give somebody else, may not be Sunil, similar to Sunil, but with 5 fingers, not necessarily 5 fingers, there will be 10 fingers even. So whatever mistake that it is making is what we call AI hallucination. It is only 75 to 80% of its own credibility, not of more. So we need not believe or lay ourselves upon, AI for for truth or anything like that. So that concern is what we call AI hallucination. It is not true all the time. Okay, next please. So privacy concern, India is again, investing in AI-powered satellites for surveillance. 50 AI-powered satellite for surveillance is also actually in process. And we too have a Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023. In spite of this Data Protection Act, it has a lot of exemptions, it seems. Maybe I think 1 week earlier, government has come out with a an amendment saying that this protection, that means data protection, can be also, the right can be given to other private companies. So it is not always with the government now, it can be also shared with the private agencies to use our own data. So these many broad exemptions are there. So it is a big concern, ethical issue in terms with AI technology. Yes, please, next. So intellectual property is another concern. We do not know from where these pictures are derived. We are very happy when you put a prompt there in the chat GPT or something, we are able to get what we want. But it is actually from a data set, a mind, a brain of somebody there in the set, maybe a book, maybe a PDF, maybe something else. It is already there stored. But then it goes across, collects few parameters from each individual pictures or text, and it is bringing you something new. But then who is the source, who is the author of this particular thing, nobody knows. So that is actually a ethical concern. Next, please. Exploited algorithm is another concern. Already we know about these things. People, those who were talking in the morning, were also emphasizing on that. We are constantly and frequently recommended of something which we ought to believe. We have to believe. Something maybe we are interested in, but it always recommends similar things, one after the other, and we may not go anything, we may not go other than that. We may not see anything other than that, because everything given to us, pumped to us, and that is also an ethical concern. Next, please. Deep fake, already we have talked about. We shall move to next, please. Okay. So these are few of the initiatives happened in the initiatives happened around the world. In 2016, US published AI report, and in 2017, France, Japan, US, and China published the AI strategy report. 2018, in India, Niti Aayog, they have come together for a national strategy of AI. And next, please. And 2020, Rome called for AI ethics. 2024, we see G7 summit Italy. And this year it happened in Paris, AI summit. And even now, though there are so many discussions happening, even now there is no AI Act yet in effect. So there is no AI Act actually, which means nobody can, of course, they are filing a case against a person who is committing with the tool of AI, but then it is not very concretized. It is not put in practice. It is not in effect. So that's a concern that we have to think about that. Next, please. Okay. So with this context, we know now the context. What is the society? What is the context? What are the vulnerabilities? What are the breaches happening? And what are the ethical considerations and issues? We know all things. But then, in spite of which, how can we use the wisdom of our heart? How can we remain fully human? Is a question asked by our Pope Francis. So this is the context. In this context, how can we remain fully human? Can we have some interactions? Mahime sir, how can we become fully human in this context? What can we do?
I have to be honest, sincere, committed to the society, love people, and be a brother to everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in terms of AI,
It is actually same. We need to be open, transparent first, and also to accept the other person, not only depending on the AI or the machines.
I think we need to trust the human intelligence more than the artificial intelligence, because human intelligence is given by God with all the possibilities of the future, which is human beings created in such a way, image and likeness of God, can face the world of any kind, even any AI, human intelligence can face it.
I think we must believe what the religion teach, what Bible religion teaches.
Okay, putting together the wisdom of the heart and AI, what is important is how can what is humanly impossible, multiplying things, share it with that human values, consideration, pat on the back, that do it to others. So both use wisely.
Thank you, fathers. We shall have a clap now. Yeah. So this clap is actually, I'll teach you a clap. So when I say, we are all, children of God. So let us become children now. By if I say, sun, let us raise both of our hands and do sun. Sun, yeah. When I say moon, yeah, moon. Moon means like this, okay. And clouds, okay. Rain, okay. Stars, okay. Rainbow. Okay. Shall we start now? Ready? Sun, moon, star, rain, cloud, rainbow. Okay. Sun. I may do wrong. You should be perfect enough. Yeah. Sun, moon, rainbow. This is not rainbow. This is what? Cloud. Rain. Sun, moon, cloud, rainbow. Rainbow is this. Okay. So this is like a language in communication. We say now what precedes our word, our action. What you see, that is very important. Than what we see is more important than what comes first is what we see than what we hear. It's like because light is faster than sound. Light is faster than sound. Okay, please next. Okay, so this is what we are going to see today. Actually, this is the center point of our session. Human being, we always say human being. We always say human is not just a being. Every day he is becoming. This is the very nature of human being, it seems. He has to become something else. That's the urge that is there inside his mind. He has to always become somebody else. I don't want to baby all the time. In mind, also in our own physical ability, we have to always become to something else. That's our very nature. That's why we have become from caveman to Google man today. Homo sapiens to techno sapiens, because we always want to become. That is the very nature of our human personality. Next, please. Yeah. And Pope Francis says, the very becoming is a primordial temptation, he says. Why it is a primordial temptation? Because it happened in the creation story itself. Man always wanted to become something above than what exactly he is. He wants to become like God. He wants to become like God. He wants to reach God. Therefore, he built what? Babel Tower. He was building Babel Tower just to reach the heavens. So always he wants to equally potent enough to face God, want to be like God. So always the urge is there that he has to always become, and he said it is a primordial temptation. But with his own nature, with his own confinement, with his own constraints, he cannot become. He cannot become more than somebody else. He cannot equally powerful than God. He cannot be like that. And therefore, he is going for some assistance, some weapons. And earlier it was weapons, an extension of arms, prehistoric weapons, an extension of arms. Then in course of time, he used media as the extension of the spoken words. And today, what he is using is AI as the extension of mind. Always he wanted to have some assistance, something that will make him superpower, something which makes him powerful like God. That was the primordial temptation. That is there in everybody. So that's what Pope Francis starts with when he writes this document. Next. Yeah, see here, the illusion of omnipotence and the creator versus becoming like God, becoming more than human. Next, please. Next. Okay, so there are a few opportunities and dangers, and he is highlighting that in the document. In the initial, phrases of the document, he says, it's a gift of God. It's a gift of God for loving service. But then there are a few dangers that he is addressing against truth. Actually in Tamil, we say it, unmai. Unmai. Truth, against truth. Today we see a lot of misinformation, disinformation, everything is fake on social media platforms. Somebody can generate my own, copy of my own. Somebody can create something else, which is exactly, realistic. So we do not know, everybody is in confusion now, what to believe. Is it really real or generated by an AI? Don't we have that confusion? Sister, have you ever experienced that confusion? And nobody recheck that. Nobody verify the authenticity of the product. Nobody verify the authenticity of the source. Nobody minds that. Because we are Levi and the high priest mindset. We always have. We just bypass. We don't want to take pain to authenticate the, the veracity of the source of the product. So that is one thing, and there is source of, and Pope says, it is cognitive pollution, he says, cognitive pollution. The mind is corrupted with a kind of pollution, digital pollution. And we do not know, because we are in a confused state of confusion. We do not know what is true and what is false. There is a word you might have heard recently, Oxford Word of the Year, Oxford University Press Word of the Year, brain rot. In 2024, Oxford University Press Word of the Year, what? Brain rot. Too much of over-consuming of unnecessary trash on the social media platforms, and which is not of any importance. So we always have a brain which is not working anymore. Something beyond of our ability. So that's what he says, cognitive pollution. Because we are not able to understand what is right and what is wrong. We are in a confused state of mind. And the second one is pluralism. Because of this algorithm and the social engineering happening because of that. The echo chamber, frequently we are given something. We are said, okay, this is what the truth is. This person is what the Superman is. This is actually the true product. Everything is catered to us repeatedly for so many, times, and we tend to believe that. We tend to believe that. So, because of which we are not able to go out of that fold, filter bubble, the silos. We are not able to go out of that fold because we believe this is the world I belong to. There are so many concepts outside. There are so many philosophies happening outside. There are so many people outside with different ideas. But we are not comfortable with that. Therefore, we don't go for that. We are very conveniently comfortable in what is given to us. And therefore, we don't appreciate pluralism. We don't appreciate, diversity. Because we know this is exactly the truth. Because this is my idea. This is my world. This is my people. And Pope says, digital tribalism. Digital tribalism, he said. Okay, next. Uniqueness. The another danger that Pope is addressing is uniqueness. It is against uniqueness. AI is against uniqueness. How we are different from, animals? Because of our cognitive faculty, rationality. We are able to think. That uniqueness we are slowly, diluting. We are deviating ourselves from that unique faculty which is given to us. The gift that is given to us. That's a threat. That's a danger today. If we are losing that, we are also not somebody above the, above all other creation, but we are also one among the creation. Without the faculty of thought or thinking. Next, please. Okay. One small story I would like to say. I have only 7 minutes. One small sparrow. Are you listening to the story, Sunil? Yeah. There is a small sparrow, but it is already tired, always flying to find out food. So it is very tired, and it wanted to live in a palace with the help of a prince in a golden cage. And a situation happened, it interacted, dialogued with the prince, of a big palace, and he accepted for this deal. Okay, I can host you, I can be your, I can have you in my home, no problem, but you have to do me a favor. What? Whenever I feed you, you have to give me one of your feathers. Whenever I feed you, you have to give me one of your feathers in return. So the sparrow said, okay, why should I need a feather anymore? Because I am going to be there in the golden cage and also in a bigger, place, helped and cared by a prince, big thing. And it accepted for this deal, and it happened. But in course of time, what happens? Each and every time when he offered a food, offered a piece of bread or something, it had to give a, feather in return. But eventually, it lost all of its feathers, and it lost the ability to fly, and it was not anymore considered as a sparrow, a bird. Same thing is happening to us today. Over depending on the AI tools, declining, we decline our own self, the ability of thinking. Human person is actually, the personhood of our own self is lost. The personhood of our oneself is lost because we are completely depending on something without which we cannot survive, without which we cannot talk, without which we cannot prepare a sermon, without which we cannot do anything at all. Then who are we? How unique we are? How are we experiencing the gift of God? How are we somebody superior to other things? So that's the question that we have to ask. Next, please. Okay, next. Okay. So, for this particular reason, Pope Francis says, use the wisdom that I gave you, the wisdom of heart. Wisdom not from your mind, wisdom of your heart. So what is that wisdom of your heart? It is discernment. That wisdom is what? Discernment. I have given you all the ability, the faculty to decide what is right and what is wrong. You might have heard of this parable of net. A fisherman goes, casts a net into the sea, he brings the fish with the net into the shore, and he is able to discern what to collect into the basket and what to discard. Do you have that ability to take a decision, the right movement? That is all about maturity. That's all about personality. That's all about humanness. It's a faculty given to us. Are we able to discern? So that is the wisdom of heart. Second one. The gift of Holy Spirit is actually it's a wisdom of heart. It's a gift of Holy Spirit, which is to see the reality with the eye of God. It is not to see anything from my own eye. It is the eye of God. Am I able to see things from the eye of God? Am I able to see things through the mindset of God? Are we able to see things from the heart of God? So that is all about, the gift of wisdom of heart is the gift of Holy Spirit. Next, please. It is also a virtue which connects the past, present, and the future. Next. Okay. Finally, why AI is not just, taken for granted. Once upon a time, when we were in Stone Age, Justin, when we were in the Stone Age, we used a weapon, a tool, it's a stone, to kill a person or to carve a sculpture or to prepare food. We always used what? Stone. But we had the control over it. We had the tool and we had the control over it. Today we are using AI as a tool, but we don't have the control over it. That's the difference between the tools that we once used and the tool that we use today, AI. We are using the tool, AI, but we don't have control over it because it learns by itself. What it gives, we are comfortable with. This is the picture it proposes, it poses friend, and we accept it. And it is right and we are wrong. But the earlier stages, we were giving orders and the machines were doing. but it is the other way around today, and we are becoming slaves or very much dependent to AI platforms and tools. And it is said at the last part of the document, we are not the slave, but the master. We are not the slave, but the master. We have to use AI tools as a means, as a tool, not the end. AI tool is a friend, not the end. AI tool is a friend, not it's assistant. It's a tool. So consider it in that way. But if you are completely relying on that, it will become a master which will make you us, slaves. So few of the concerns. Next, please. Okay. So these are few of the concerns and challenges we have to discuss. There is no treat going, no discussion. We have to discuss with among the youth. We have to discuss with the parish. We have to discuss in small, groups about the challenges the AI is posing today in front of us. Because of which we may come to a treaty, we may arrive to a law, that act. We may also come to other resolutions. What are the loopholes that it has can be also solved. Having said that, thank you for the opportunity. We youngsters talking to you, so seniors, learned, but then it gives us, motivations, and for this best opportunity, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Father Janit, for such a lovely, interesting, enriching session. Now we enter into a Q&A session. I request you, I hope you have written down the questions and kept. To save time, ask your question to the point and related, relevant to the topic. And the Father Janit also, I request him to answer the question to the point. Also, if you are making any deliberation, make sure that in the beginning you say, it is a deliberation, no question, and the resource person need not give any opinion on that. Deliberations are just for the knowledge. So if you have, anyone has got any question, please feel free. Yes, Father Richie. Do we have mic? Yes. Hello. And one more thing, no follow-up questions. Follow-up questions you can ask afterwards during the tea time to the resource person.
Yeah, this is a question, just a question to, as you said about the AI and all that things you explained to us. But my question is this, whether AI will influence human conscience, formation of human conscience in the near future. Like formation of the human conscience is very important, as you said, to make decisions, end or means, and so many things explained. But in the near future, how AI will influence the formation of the conscience, where education, purpose, right or wrong, and how it will affect in the future.
Yes, Father, I think it will always get into our life in whatever form, whatever possible forms. That's why I am saying, as Pope was also talking about this, countries should come together, governments should come together and form a treaty, like ethical, raising the ethical conscience. They should have a, positive discussions wherein they will come to a conclusion saying that to this extent we can go. Now they are talking about super AI, generative AI is what we are having now, super intelligence, they are talking about. So if that comes, we do not know how could that influence each and every individual, not only in their life, but also each and every decision that they make. So certainly I believe that, AI will have a strong impact and influence in our life, even in the decision making and even the consciousness of what we are composed of.
We can go to the next question. Yeah. Father Cyprian, please keep your questions short.
Okay. Today in the market, we have artificial eggs, artificial rice, artificial intelligence. So my question is, in this too much digitalization, this may go to the extent that God is artificial, religion is artificial, My faith is artificial. What is your opinion?
Any other question? Question? Is there any more question? No? If anyone wants to make any, express any thought, any deliberation? No? If not, then we end this session. Already we are running short of time. We are running late. I thank Father Dr. Janit Sekar for enriching us with this in this topic with his expertise, with all the things which he explained. Thank you so much on behalf of all of us. We appreciate and thank you for this.
అనుకుంటే కలవదు ఇక్కడ గిఫ్ట్ ఉన్నాయి ఇచ్చి ఉంటాయి అరేంజ్మెంట్స్